All right, let's go on. Questions 21 to 24. Choose the correct letter A, B, C. So choose the correct letter. One of my students, he appeared in Ielts. He got 30 multiple choice questions in one Ielts listening test. 30. Okay? So you cannot escape multiple choice questions, and especially if your target band is 8,777. 8 means 35 correct answers. I guess 34, sorry. So 34 correct answers. So you can't actually get 8 band without multiple choice. Now, let's pay attention, okay? Let's pay attention. Assignment on sleep and dreams. Simple. One student got assignment on sleep and dreams, right? Luke read that one reason why we often forget dreams is that. Very simple. Luke read somewhere, one reason why we forget our dreams was, right? So what is that one reason that why we forget our dreams? Memories cannot cope with too much information. Memories cannot cope. Means our memories cannot cope with too much information. Simple. Option B, we might otherwise be confused about what is real. So be confused about what is real. Underline that. When option is long, only focus few words. And option C, we do not think they are important. Just underline not important. So Luke read that one reason, he read it somewhere, that one reason why we often forget dreams is that. What is reason number 1? Memories cannot cope. Memories cannot handle so much information. Option B, will be confused about what is real. Sometimes when you see a dream, you think it's real. Visa भी लग गया, Canada भी पहुंच गया, जहाज से बाहर आया तो बाहर निकल नहीं रहा, पता चला सर चारपाई की पाइतों में फंसा हुआ है. Okay, so we sometimes, if you are planning to go to Canada and you see if everything is real, visa is stamped, everything, but then you wake up. So might otherwise be confused about what is real and not important, like dreams are not important, all that. Okay, now I play the audio again. They will speak in any order and one option is correct. 2 options will be discussed oppositely or negatively, right? And he read somewhere.
So, Luke, for our next psychology assignment, we have to do something on sleep and dreams.
Right. I've just read an article suggesting why we tend to forget most of our dreams soon after we wake up. Most of my dreams aren't that interesting anyway. But what it said was that if we remembered everything, we might get mixed up about what actually happened and what we dreamed. So it's a sort of protection. I hadn't heard that idea before. I'd always assumed that it was just that we didn't have room in our memories for all that stuff.
Me too.
No, not B. A. Well done. How many of you said A? Good. All right. Now you have understood me. Okay. Listen. They did not discuss option C. They started with option B and then they went to option A. Right? Correct answer is option B. I tell you why. I'm going to play the audio again. Right? मैं घर से पढ़ के आता हूँ. Okay, yeah. So I can answer every question. अन्नेवा होते हैं. Some teachers, they say, बेटा आप खुद से कर लीजिएगा. Yeah, and some teachers, the teaching is an art no, what is that? There is another question. मैं आपको बाद में बताता हूँ. अभी ज़हन में आ रहा है. A good teacher can make the students understand what even he doesn't understand or something like that. Okay. All right. Question number 21. So I play this one again.
So, Luke, for our next psychology assignment, we have to do something on
Option
sleep
B.
and dreams.
Right. I've just read an article
Now focus.
suggesting why we tend to forget most of our dreams soon after we wake up. Most of my dreams aren't that interesting anyway. But what it said was that...
What it said. It means article. What it said.
If we remembered everything, we might get mixed up about what actually happened and what we dreamed.
What actually happened and what we dreamed means be confused about what is real. What actually happened and what we dreamed. Okay, now listen please for option A.
So it's a sort of protection. I hadn't heard that idea before. I'd always assumed that it was
I'd
just
always
that we didn't have...
assumed. Whenever they use the word considered, thought, assumed, it means there is the wrong answer. They only use the word assumed and then they speak exactly the same option. And when they speak exactly the same option, that is another sign that answer is wrong. Because before that, now there is one listening test, they've got this multiple choice. They only use the word nor, N-O-R, nor. And then they speak exactly the same option, nor, N-O-R, nor means they're speaking negatively. So when they speak negatively, oppositely, they use the word we considered, we thought, we expected. With these words, most of the time they speak exact options and they are wrong. Okay? So the correct answer is B. Now let's go on. Gradually, as one more thing, even if you are not at this level of English, at this stage of English, but as you practice IELTS, your level will increase, your level will improve. In listening, in reading, your level is going to improve. You solve one test, second test, third. I learned IELTS by solving the tests. I solved the test and nobody ever taught me IELTS. If you ask me who is your IELTS teacher, no one. I'm my own teacher, right? So be your own IELTS teacher. Apna satyanas khud hi kar le. You need me, okay? Question number 22. What do Luke and Susie, Susie, yeah, your neighbor, okay. What do Luke and Susie agree about dreams predicting the future? Now listen, there are three options. Dreams which are predicting the future. Like you see a dream and that happens. Okay, so what do they agree? It means on 2 points they will not agree. And when they don't agree, they say, well, I'm not sure. Or I don't know about that. Or I don't believe that. I don't think like that. It means they disagree. And if they say, yes, you are right. You got the point. I also think so. That means they agree. So on 2 points they will disagree. On 1 point they are going to agree. And which is the answer? The one they agree. Okay, option A, it may just be due to chance. Due to chance means coincidence. By chance you see a dream. Sometimes you're going back home and you have some special dish in mind, biryani, and you reach home and you ask what is cooked. They say biryani, and you say yes. This is what we call by chance. You're going back home, you've got biryani in mind, and when you reach back home, they say batau pakke ne. So bingan, okay? So you don't like that, okay? So they say due to chance. By chance this happens, right? Like some people get married by chance. Option B, it only happens with certain type of event. Underline certain type of event. Prediction of dreams or the dreams come true. Option C, it happens more often than some people think. Happens more often. More often means zyadatar hota hai. Mostly it happens. Now what is option A? Due to chance. For due to chance, they can use the word by chance. It's a coincidence. It happens by chance. Or like there is a probability of it. Option B only happens with certain types of events. Certain types of events. Like if there is an earthquake or there is a drought or anything like that. And option C happens more often than some people think. Let's see.
What do you think about the idea that our dreams may predict the future?
It's a belief that you get all over the world.
Yeah, lots of people have a story of it happening to them. But the explanation I've read is that for each dream that comes true, we have thousands that don't. But we don't notice those. We don't even remember them. We just remember the ones where something in the real world, like a view or an action, happens to trigger a dream memory.
Right. So it's just a coincidence, really.
Right, it's just a coincidence, really. A, it may just be due to chance. Due to chance means it's just a coincidence. Coincidence when something happens by chance. Okay, here. Option A, and they didn't speak about other two options very clearly. Question number 23. Susie says that a study on preschool children, underline preschool children, and study means research. Whenever they use the word study like this, it means research, experiment, and all that. A study on preschool children having a short nap in the day. So, study preschool children having a short nap. What is short nap? They sleep in the afternoon, right? A, had controversial results. The results were mixed. Or for controversial, they can use the word conflicting results. Mixed results, different results, opposing results. Option B, used faulty research methodology. They say the research methodology was not correct. It was wrong. The research method was wrong. For faulty, they can use the word wrong, incorrect, and all that. Option C, failed to reach any clear conclusion, means they could not draw a conclusion, right? So whenever you read the option, just try to gather the main crux of that. Option A, controversial results. Option B, faulty research. Just faulty research is enough. And option C, failed clear conclusions or failed conclusions. Let's see.
Something else I read about is what they call segmented sleeping. That's a theory that hundreds of years ago, people used to get up in the middle of the night and have a chat or something to eat, then go back to bed. So I tried it myself.
Why?
Well, it's meant to make you more creative. I don't know why, but I gave it up after a week. It just didn't fit in with my lifestyle.
But most preschool children have a short sleep in the day, don't they? There was an experiment some students did here last term to see at what age kids should stop having naps, but they didn't really find an answer. They spent a lot of time working out the most appropriate methodology, but the results didn't seem to show any obvious patterns.
Right.
Well done. Failed to reach any conclusions. Now I play this again so that you get the right word.
Something else I read about is what they call segmented sleeping. That's a theory that hundreds of years ago, people used to get up in the middle of the night and have a chat or something to eat, then go back to bed. So I tried it myself.
This is not related to this, okay? So sometimes you have to wait patiently. The word research or study is important.
Why?
Well, it's meant to make you more creative. I don't know why, but I gave it up after a week. It just didn't fit in with my lifestyle.
But most preschool children have a short sleep in the day, don't they? There was an experiment some students did here last term to see at what age kids should stop having naps, but they didn't really find an answer.
They didn't really find an answer. What is that? Failed to reach any clear conclusions. So they didn't really find an answer. This is the correct answer. And for faulty research methodology, listen, what do they say?
They spent a lot of time working out the most appropriate methodology.
Most appropriate methodology. Here they've written faulty research methodology. In the audio, opposite is most appropriate methodology. So this is how they use opposite words or negative language. Okay. C is the right answer. Question number 24. In their last assignment, both students had problems with. Now listen, very simple. Whenever they use the word both, one student will say, I had this problem. The other says, I was okay with that. That is not the answer. Then the other student says, I had problem with that. Then this student says, yeah, I was quite okay with it. I enjoyed it. That's not the answer. The answer is a problem that both students had, right? So in their last assignment, both students had problems with statistical analysis, numbers and data and how to analyze the data. B, making an action plan. And C, self-assessment. So where both had problem, that will be the answer. If one had problem, that will not be the answer. So please listen.
Anyway, let's think about our assignment. Last time I had problems with the final stage, where we had to describe and justify how successful we thought we'd been. I struggled a bit with the action plan too.
I was okay with the planning, but I got marked down for the self-assessment as well. And I had big problems with the statistical stuff. That's where I really lost marks.
Right.
A, statistical analysis. Very good. Be confident. Let's listen to it again. It's not A.
Anyway, let's think about our assignment. Last time I had problems with the final stage, where we had to describe and justify how successful we thought we'd been. I struggled a bit with the action plan too.
I struggled a bit with the action plan too. Now listen, what does she say?
I was okay with the planning.
I was okay with the planning. So option B, making an action plan, that's not the right answer. What are we left with? A and C. Now listen.
Self-assessment. Then, when we've collected all our it and calculate the correlation between our two
Oh
variables.
gosh, just a second.
Anyway, let's think about our assignment. Last time I had problems with the final stage, where we had to describe and justify how successful we thought we'd been. I struggled a bit with the action plan too.
I was okay with the planning, but I got marked down for the self-assessment as well.
I got marked down for the self-assessment as well. As well means if something happens with you, I say I got marked down for the self-assessment as well. So this is where they both had issues.
And I had big problems with the statistical stuff. That's where I really lost marks.
Right.
Okay, so statistical analysis, she said she didn't use the word analysis. Focus this, self-assessment. I play this again. Okay, just a second. You guys didn't focus that. When she used the word as well, for example, if you say I have a headache, I say I also have a headache. The word also or as well means like I'm telling that you have this thing, I have the same thing again. Please listen.
Anyway, let's think about our assignment. Last time I had problems with the final stage, where we had to describe and justify how successful we thought we'd been. I struggled a bit with the action plan too.
I was okay with the planning, but I got marked down for the self-assessment as well.
I got marked down for the self-assessment as well. So as well means both, right? C is the right answer. And listen to A now.
And I had big problems with the statistical stuff.
I had bit problems with the statistical stuff, bit problems. But they didn't mention analysis.
That's where I really lost marks.
Right.
That's where I really lost mark, but the man didn't say anything about that. So that was the problem of her only. Yeah. Okay.